welcome back to See and Sco. This is Nsia here, taking you with me for a drive right now just because life is crazy and I wanted to do an update on this last week, and it's been a little hard to find time. So first I want to say that when I got on the scale on Thursday, I was pretty frustrated. It showed that I had gone up in weight, and I realized that I actually had ran out of Colace maybe a couple of days earlier, and I didn't feel like I was as regular, if you know what I mean, as I typically am. So with that all in mind, I decided that I'm just gonna ignore it because I don't think it's accurate to what my true weight is right now. I just think it's like a side effect of the medication. You know, I don't feel like I'm as regulated with that Colace as I typically am without it. I'm sorry. So I don't know what happened. I'm trying to set up like a subscription plan with Amazon so that it would come every couple of months based on the number of pills that are in the bottle that I picked. It's such a great deal. I just had to sign up for it. I'm like $3-4 for Colace. Yes, that's a yes, because it's usually like $10 to get it from like the local CVS. Anyway, I digress. For some reason, it did not allow me to get it right away. It thinks I don't need it till November, and that's not correct at all. I definitely don't feel like I can go that long without it. For some history, so during my starter dose, I felt like I was fine. I didn't really need much, but as soon as I went up to 5.0 milligrams of Zepbound, I definitely felt that I was getting constipated, and then also the scale, I could tell like things weren't progressing for weight loss as I was hoping for it to. I'm also on iron supplements due to my blood work that I had done before I started Zepbound. So I realized that all those things are working against me, and because of that, probably a lot to do with the iron supplement as well, because I have to take a decent amount. I needed to do something about it. So I reached out to my primary care providers to figure out a solution. As I always advocate, you'll get a lot of medical advice on the internet, but you should never make any changes without talking to your medical provider, right? Like, you wouldn't just trust some random person on the internet. You don't know me well enough. I mean, we're getting to know each other, and I love it. You know, we're like in a dating phase here, but what I will do is share what I've learned through my medical providers, who I feel are really high quality, who've guided me really well here. So anyway, they suggested that, first of all, focus on increasing fiber and water. I let them know that I'd already been troubleshooting with those techniques. I eat cups of vegetables every meal. Like, I thought I was hitting fiber just fine. And so they said if I don't feel like that's working for me, I could take 1 to 2 Colaces a day, depending on what I need. So I decided to implement like 1 Colace every day at like 6 p.m. Usually takes like 9 to 12 hours for it to kind of work in my system, and I wanted to have it work in time for my morning getting ready routine, we'll say, and so that I can get on the scale and see the magic of all the effort I'm putting in, you know, the result of all the effort I'm putting in. Anyway, so that was working really well for me, and I was also like increasing fiber because I realized I really was not having as much fiber as I thought. Okay, so some of the things that I've been doing to increase my fiber intake has been chia seed puddings, essentially either chia seed pudding or chia seed oatmeals in the morning. That's been working out pretty well for me. And I just recently got some psyllium husk powder. I had some of my friends on Instagram mentioned to me that that's something they use, so I've been testing some products out, and ooh, that worked really well, along with kombucha. So I just recently got into kombucha. I guess I just assumed I would hate it, so I hadn't tried it any earlier. I'm not really sure why I felt that way, but the one I got was delicious. Even my husband was into it. We were drinking that as our little Saturday night beverage because that's what life is like now. Okay, now we're on the floor of my house. I did not ever think I'd be filming on the floor, but we're trying this whole creating content while I continue on with my day so I don't cause too much issues. So I'm just gonna do some stretching. My good friend Allison suggested this little stretch band to stretch out a little bit better. I've been really neglecting that. So anyway, to continue on with my fiber story, I have been increasing the fiber that I'm taking in a day, and I have to create a little post about it just so I can capture. It's hard to kind of keep track of all the things you need to know to be on this journey, and especially because I feel like I'm starting from scratch. It's not like I knew all this information growing up. I mean, probably if I did, maybe I wouldn't have had to learn this much. But either way, I plan to create a post just to kind of share the best tips. But to recap, you know, it seemed like on Thursday that my week was a complete flop because I had a gain. I felt very frustrated about that. But the truth about it is that it wasn't quite a gain. It was just, I was still constipated. So I decided to ignore it. I kind of just continued. I didn't let that create a setback because I knew I've been putting in the work and that I'm actively making the right choices that I'm proud of. Sure, I could work on curbing my late night snacking. It's just a little hard once my ADHD medicine wears off, but I'm still so awake that I start getting into like my social media projects around that time. But I knew I wasn't doing anything outside of like what my diet could support without too much weight gain. So I just got on the scale this morning, and I, was being very, very mindful of keeping that fiber under like at a really good amount all weekend long, so I didn't get discouraged, and I wanted to see if I can kind of get more regulated without the use of Colace, and the scale showed a loss on it. I'm not gonna worry about it yet because it's not technically like official weigh-in, but either way I was very relieved that it wasn't 238 as it was showing last week. Am I in the 30s already? Wow. Crazy. I really had to think about that because it's so hard to fathom that I'm already seeing these numbers. Thank gosh for Zepbound. I'm so grateful. This week with my shin splints, as you see, I'm kind of like just trying to do some stretches to support all these things. I am still taking it easy. I didn't want to like jump right back into it. I know historically like my shin splints take quite a bit to resolve. So I hope in the next couple of days, if I'm not noticing much pain, that I will resume or completely restart my couch to 5K plan using Garmin. I think that was really good. I just need to be very mindful of my body. If I notice pain, stop, figure it out, make sure that it's not something that I'm like fighting through, because right now, like those indicators on my body are what are telling me if I'm in the right direction or wrong direction, or if I just need to like course correct. So I'm huge on like focusing on that course correction portion. And so I didn't have as many strength training sessions as I wish I did this past week. I think I've really like declined on some of that. And I need to rework it into my routine so I don't miss that. It's so important when taking these GLP-1 medications to strength train, not just the walking. That is amazing. If you can only do walking, definitely that's more than I was able to do for the beginning of my journey. But the strength training is very important. I know when I was working with my medical providers, they essentially said to me, if I could only do something, it should be strength training, just to make sure you maintain that muscle mass. I'm fortunate so far, according to my scale, it's saying that I have not lost any muscle mass. I've actually gained some. But they said that as I'm on these higher dosages, that's when it becomes a lot harder. So it's important to continue to build that muscle in your body. The best way you can do it is by strength training. Even if it's just 3 pounds, 5 pounds, it's something to create that resistance on your muscles and allow them to train and build and grow. What else did I want to say? Food-wise, I feel I've been pretty good. I feel that I'm kind of getting into the groove of things, but I feel good because I'm making the right choices. But because of all my like antics on social media, which involve like starting 500 different types of social media accounts and blogs and trying to veer in so many different places, my mind has been everywhere. So instead of like continuing to restock my freezer collection, which I've been very proud of, I have depleted it. So this weekend I actually ran out of protein. That is wild. I had so much protein in my fridge, like pre-cooked, portioned out, ready to go. But I finished all of it in the last couple of weeks because I wasn't resupplying my collection more than I needed in a week. And I think I also have been using it a lot more than I used to in general, because I'm making a lot less of like, I guess, protein through the week. I feel like I used to make more, but I'm working a lot later and I'm, it's a lot harder these days. So I bought a crazy amount of protein from our wholesale store locally, and we cooked a bunch of it up over the weekend. I just need to put them into the containers and get them back in the freezer so they're there. We're going to be doing a lot of traveling in August. So I want to make sure I have enough of everything I would need to make the right choices, possibly taking it with me on my travels. So I haven't done these before, so you guys are with me as I'm doing these stretches for the first time. I am hoping to like carry some of my prepackaged protein so I don't have to feel stressed out. And maybe my salad. The problem is I absolutely love just my salad. Not mine specifically, but the one that they sell at BJ's. I would have a membership to BJ's for the year just for the herb mix that they do. I'm sure I can recreate it if I had to go to a different place, but I just haven't succeeded at finding all the components that they use in it, which is just like a spring mix, some arugula in there, and whatever herbs that they happen to have, like parsley. Like, I just feel like I find a surprise herb in there every time, and I'm a sucker for those. So, I think I don't know if I should carry that or if I'm being way too ridiculous to not be, flexible and be willing to have, whatever protein is available, whatever salad mixture is available somewhere else. When I traveled a few months earlier, I did a lot of like bag salads. I also did like Brussels sprout, like shredded Brussels sprouts, or like I shredded them further to kind of create a very nice green salad. Like I don't want just like iceberg lettuce, or even romaine lettuce is not gonna get me what I want. And now even like spinach is just like not enough flavor for me. So knowing that about myself, and knowing that I, instead of spending out, like doing takeout while traveling, I would prefer to eat that. I just have to come up with like, how will I fit all the things I want to carry for the trip itself? along with the things I need, because I'm not always, you know, now I have all these like dietary preferences that are a little bit outside of what others are eating while I'm with them. So stay tuned as I try to figure that out, but I am trying to restock my fridge. I should probably try to take some photos and stuff to share what that looks like, because I haven't really, like, I've just spoken about it, but I don't think I've shared like what my freezer looks like when I fill it up all the way. So stay tuned for that. If you have something specific that you want to know about what's working, let me know. I know that I'm kind of in a lot of different like headspaces in what I'm sharing as well. I'm trying my best to kind of focus a little bit on the ADHD and GLP side of things, but at the end of the day, I also want to make sure that I put up all the tools that I've had success using, because I think that if someone like me who has ADHD, who's truly struggling with ADHD while taking care of kids, 2 young toddlers, working full-time, and you know, just the normal obligations of life and adulthood, if I could make these things work, I really truly feel that many others could benefit from what I had to learn to kind of like come up with. So it's important that I like find time to share some of my best practices and tips, because I've noticed there's a lot of people that have recently started joining this GLP journey, and it's so exciting because it's changed my life. And I know a lot of you that are joining me on this have recently started or hoping to start if you can get coverage in your insurance. I've also noticed that like the beginning of July, more insurances have added it to their policy. So if you tried prior to July 2024, try again, call them directly and find out if they've included that in your prescription plan, and if they did, find out what you need to qualify. I'm not so lucky. My company has only included it if I have cardiovascular disease. I am lucky that that is not my current situation. That's the types of things I'm trying to avoid. I'm only 35 at this point, so you know, but I was on track to have everything under the book. I'm trying to avoid that, so I'm working to convince my company that they should support these medications for preventative care, not just future like resolution of problems that already come from it. But that's been my week. As usual, I went too long. Thank you for driving with me and parking with me and stretching with me. Let me know a little bit about your week. I am sure that it is like just what, if you want to share like how things have been going, what are you working to accomplish, or do you have any goals that you're working towards this week towards your health and wellness? And for this video's question, I'm thinking we do, what is your favorite healthy food that you've been eating right now on your journey? I'm not saying you have to be eating this every day, but if there's like a certain type of food or meal that is really helping you make those good choices and you feel really good about it, like tell me what it is. There's so much value in sharing recipes in this scenario. You don't have to go through all that trouble, but even just ideas is very helpful, because we're all on the same journey. We're all looking to accomplish the same things, and why don't we kind of like share resources? So let's do that for this week's question. Share with me something that you really enjoy eating and that you feel good about, because it's giving you some nutritional benefits that your body needs. And have a wonderful day, week, until I come up with the next video to speak with you. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I really appreciate anybody, all of you, for watching. But I would love to gain some traction here on YouTube. Also, if you have not subscribed to my blog, I highly recommend it because I've been dropping recipes in there and guides. I haven't been like cross-posting that everywhere because I don't feel like I've created enough of a collection yet. But if you're subscribed, you're gonna know before everybody else does for what content and resources I've created. I highly recommend it. I hope it's worth it to all of you as I'm working on this. If you find it is or isn't, I want to know, so please tell me, because I'm very much passionate about doing this journey with all of you and sharing this and creating this bond, but it does take a lot of time. So if I'm spending it poorly, I could use help knowing to course correct. Anyway, you guys are wonderful. I wish you all the best in all your efforts over the next week. And if you need anything from me, catch me on email or comments or however you would like to connect. But I'm rooting for all of you, and I know you're rooting for me, and I could not be more grateful for this community here. All right, until next time, bye.